Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Maurice Menders. I am the manager of the Caterpillar Malaga Demonstration and Learning Center, and it's a great pleasure to welcome you at the 2020 Next Generation Wheeled and Small Track Excavator launch at the Malaga, broadcasted to you live from Malaga, Spain. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to be with us today for the virtual launch. As some of you may know, in previous years we would have gathered in our big auditorium here on site, where we would have taken you to our safety briefing, like wearing the safety vest and proper footwear when approaching the machines. This year things are slightly different. We are 100% virtual, so also our safety briefing will be slightly adapted. Some of you may be dialing in from your home, or you may be at your local CAT dealership, or some of you may be watching the seminar from your mobile app sitting somewhere in the park. What I suggest you do is take a look around to see what type of safety hazards there may be, and where would you go and what would you do in case of an emergency. You will be pleased to know that we have built in a break into our program, so you will have a time to get up and stretch your legs when you get too tired from watching the screen all the time. From our side, I also want to give you some reassurance that we are taking our safety precautions related to COVID-19. We are several people here in the room, and everybody who is not live on stage presenting is wearing a face mask. And we are also keeping our safety distance at all times. Now, with that adapted safety message out of the way, I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Alana Tobito, who will officially start and open the program. Alana.
Thank you, Maurice, for the welcome and safety briefing. Welcome, everyone, to the first Caterpillar virtual machine launch. My name is Alana Tobito, and I will be your host today. Before going into the event details, I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to all our customers, dealers, and Team Caterpillar who during this challenging time are going above and beyond to make sure we together keep the business running in the safest way. Thank you very much. I would also like to welcome the trade press editors who are joining us for this program. Thank you for taking the time to be part of this launch. We are really very happy to welcome you today. And we really look forward to welcoming you back to Malaga when we can do so safely. The global pandemic makes us think and work differently, but our commitment to stay connected with you hasn't changed. And our commitment to support your business hasn't changed. And this is why we are here today. We have the best product specialists with us who will present the new CAT Next Generation Wheel and Small Track Excavators. We have the M314, M316, and M318 for wheel excavators. Our Small Track Excavator Performance Series of 313, 315, and 317. And our standard GC series, 313 GC, 315 GC, and 317 GC. Would you like to stay in touch during the event? Don't hesitate to use the mobile app to connect with each other, share pictures, and comment. You will find it available via the App Store or Google Play Store or through the link included in your event confirmation email. Also, feel free to ask questions using the message box below the video link. Please be sure to include your full name in your message. With that said, I am pleased to welcome with Jason Conklin, Vice President of Construction Industries, and Corné Timmermans, the Sales Director for Europe, Africa, and Middle East.
Thank you for the introduction, and hello everybody. I'm Corné Timmermans, and we are joining you here from the CAT rental store from Avesco, our CAT dealer here in Geneva, Switzerland. And I'm joined by Jason Conklin, Caterpillar's Vice President for the global construction and infrastructure business. And Jason, we have a lot of customers that are owning and operating our wheeled and small excavators, as well as press editors. And they're joining us here for this virtual small and wheel excavator event. And we're happy to have you here, so thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, and it's great to be here. Actually, really nice to be here on the Avesco site, not too far from our home base in Geneva, Switzerland. So I want to thank you especially for the customers and editors. Appreciate you guys all coming here today. It's great to be on site and see all this activity. Clearly the customers in Europe are definitely heading back to work.
Well, that's great to hear, Jason. Needless to say that, you know, the pandemic is impacting our customers, the construction industry, and Caterpillar. Can you say a little bit about how Caterpillar and the construction industry is dealing with these challenging times?
Yeah, in many countries and most of the markets that our customers serve, we are definitely seeing that our customers are deemed as essential. So between that, our great financial position, and of course our broad network that goes across the world, we believe we're able to take care of customers and really get through this tough time with very little impact to our customers. We're so lucky to sit on a 95-year legacy that Caterpillar has, and it's no different here in the AMI market. We started in Europe in 1951 with the start of our UK facility. We've actually been in the CIS Eurasia area for 45 years, helping with the development of that region. And of course in Africa in 1912, it started with the signing of Paranin, our dealer in Tunisia. And it doesn't matter whether it's a construction customer or a rail customer, we're in ag or we're in mining, we've been able to take care of those customers for all those years. Some major projects we've been lucky to be a part of, like the tunnel going from Great Britain to mainland Europe, certainly the Istanbul Grand Airport, the Suez Canal expansion, and many, many more examples. But today is no different. That legacy and that support, our dealers and customers can expect it today. They might just see it in a different way. We're starting to go virtual with our interactions with the customers, with our training of dealers and customers, and even commissioning machines virtually. So incredibly proud of Team Cat and how we've gotten creative in this tough time.
Well, that's amazing to hear, Jason, how we are collectively adapting to these challenging times. So if we kind of look ahead, can you share with us a little bit how we're going to meet the needs of the customers for the future?
Yeah, if there's one thing that's certain here in this industry and for our customers, there is going to be change, and there will always be change. And it's no different now. Our customers see a change from day to day. Every segment they work, every job they work, even the applications that their different machines do are completely different. So for years, Caterpillar has gone after the best production, and we've led the industry with that design. But we've realized that not every customer, not every application is the same. So we've actually built an entire line of GC machines in order to really go after that customer that has a machine that's supporting the business as opposed to needing full productivity. We're going after ease of use, simplicity, fuel efficiency, and a more simple design that our customers need around, yet giving them the reliability and durability that they've expected from Cat for lots and lots of years. Now, we're also doing the same thing on services. We're giving a lot more option and partnering with our dealers to really take more customer value agreements and make those as options to our customers. We're also doing stuff like remote service and remote troubleshoot to continue to give them more options. So with more options on the machine side, more options on the services side, we believe that we can fit customers' needs no matter where they are in the cycle and no matter where they are in their journey.
Well, that's very exciting, Jason. Obviously, we have a lot of customers from the excavation business here with us. And it's clearly one of the fastest growing segments in our industry. So can you talk a little bit about how Caterpillar is looking at maintaining our leadership position in that business?
Yeah, the short answer is we're investing, and we're investing big. So in 2019 alone, we invested $1.7 billion on research and development. Now, this is to do a few things. It's to drive a leadership position on fuel efficiency. It's to continue to expand our performance-based products to make sure that we have the highest productivity in the market. And it is to continue to give more options, like what we talked about with the GC. Now, the biggest advancement of this kind and the biggest investment by far is the next generation hydraulic excavator platform, what we call Next Gen HEX. And this is all about bringing industry-leading fuel efficiency which is not just saving the customers money, it's also saving the environment with lower emissions. And then of course, we're making a lot of strides on ease of use, on choice, and on productivity. So our goal is to take a good operator and make them a great operator with all the technology and all the options available on this machine. And we're actually inspiring young operators and helping our industry to bring young operators into this industry with all the technology and ease of use features on these machines. So we're excited. We're bringing a lot of new customers into Team Caterpillar. We continue to see a lot of growth with our next gen Hex line, and we know we can take care of customers today, but are really excited to see what we do in the future with this new lineup of machines.
Okay, well, great. Thank you, Jason. Thank you for joining us today and sharing your thoughts about this exciting business that we're in. And thank you to our customers and press editors for taking the time for being with us today. And I do hope that you're going to enjoy the rest of our program. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Corné. It's great to hear all the great information from you. Now, let's connect with Brent Utermark, the Worldwide Product Manager for wheel and small track excavators. Brent is calling us from Singapore, where he is based. Good evening, Brent. Thank you for joining us this late.
Good afternoon, Alana. Thanks for the opportunity.
No, thank you for being here. So we wanted to touch base with you a bit and talk a bit about how we go into the design phase of our new machines. How important is the customer in the design phase?
Well, the customer is absolutely critical, and it's really the starting point of any new machine design and product introduction. So we work with the customer in various ways to collect information from them through interviews, visiting sites, doing field follow with our machines, where we put machines on site to test out items with them and gain their feedback. So definitely a critical part, as I said, of the starting phase of that product design. And really we work with them to not only understand their current challenges and how we can help them in their business, but also what we see as what will become the future challenges for them, and try to ensure that our machines can also meet that future need with them. So we work to consolidate that information. Of course, we're a very global company and global organization, so we're working with various regions and countries and figuring out how to pull all of that together to build that into the best product that we can make.
Sounds like a really intense phase, but a super important one. But then, how do you go about the research and development for designing a new machine?
Well, Caterpillar certainly pumps a lot of resource into the research and development process, and we spend a lot of funds each year in developing new machines. So it creates a need for teamwork. We have to work across engineering, again, bringing together that customer feedback to figure out how to meet those customer needs and make the best machine that we can that ultimately will help them to do their job better and deliver profit for their companies. So as we go through that, we are naturally looking at new technologies and items like that we can bring to the market that will help our customers. And again, it's not just in the short term, but also what that looks like over the longer term of what the customers are going to need down the road.
Oh, that's great. So can you tell us what models we are launching today for the small track excavators?
Yeah, so for small track machines, we have the 313 and the 313 GC, the 315 and 315 GC, and then the 317 and 317 GC. So the first of those models, the 313, 313 GC, and 315 are already out and in the marketplace. 315 GC will start launching very shortly, and then the 317 and 317 GC will be coming at some point in the second quarter of next year to the market. So those products are clearly different sizes within our small excavator portfolio, but they're also set up to meet different value propositions of the customers. So not every customer has the same need for that machine in terms of how they're using the machine from an application standpoint, but also the amount of hours that they're putting on a machine, for example, and what level of production they need out of that machine. So we are working to support those different value propositions of our customers. And then finally, we're working to increase performance of these machines, not only through some of the more traditional means that we've had through engine and hydraulics and mechanical type of systems, but also through things like ease of use features that we're doing with technology that makes the operators more effective and efficient and overall helps to reduce the operating cost of the customer.
So you've spoken about the small track excavators. What about the new wheel excavators?
Yeah, on the wheeled excavator side, so really a complete redesign here of the wheeled excavator models that we sell in that portfolio. We have the new M314 and M318 that are already introduced to the market now. The M316 will be coming next, and that machine can be expected sometime in early 2021. So the wheeled excavators, again, are focused on high-performing machines that are delivering low operating costs to the customer, and also that are very operator-friendly and incorporate, again, a lot of those newer features as we start to look at technology and what technologies we can bring in the near future on these machines.
So as you've been going through the design phase and taking all these different things into consideration, how do you incorporate the work tools?
Well, both small track excavators and wheeled excavators are very versatile tool carrying machines, especially on the wheeled excavator side, where our typical customers will be running multiple different tools. So we take that incorporation into the design of the machine from the beginning. Like I talked about at the very start, if we think about the customer and the feedback we're getting from customers, it's not just about that machine, it's also about the tool, how the tool needs to work together with the machine. And for us, that's ultimately how we can integrate those tools and the performance from a hydraulic standpoint, as an example, of those tools way back into the base design of the machine that will ultimately give us the best performing machine possible. So it's that full solution of the machine and the tool working together. So we do have a wide range at Caterpillar of in-house tools that we have designed that are set up to work with those machines. And at the same time, as I've talked about the technology that we've been bringing forward in terms of ease of use on the machine, we're looking at tools as it relates to that as well. So if you think about things like a tilt rotating coupler, which we have now integrated into the small excavator product that we have, when you can put that technology piece and that ease of use together with a tool and a machine that are already integrated, it just makes it easier, more efficient, faster for the customer to get their job done. So a lot of focus on the tools and how they come together with the machine.
Makes perfect sense when you explain it that way. So what were the design objectives for these two machine families?
Well, if you go back a couple of years, we really set the stage for our next generation excavators with the iconic 320, which was the first machine that we launched out of our next generation products. So with that machine, we were offering both performance products and some of these new value proposition products. Again, design machine with the future in mind. So that was a clear design criteria. As we look at the electro-hydraulics that are in the machine, for example, that allows us to continue to evolve and develop these machines, but not only do that for new machines that might be sold a year or two from now, but to have the possibility to provide upgrades onto existing machines that the customer has purchased, the next-gen machines that already have those electro-hydraulic systems on them. So that was definitely a design objective for us, is to create a machine where we can continue to bring updates and more value and features over time that can help the customers. The other one I would say is really the family concept as you look across our excavation products at Caterpillar. So whether you're a customer that's working with a 320 or a 336 or the new 315 or a wheeled excavator, that when you get into that machine, the look and feel of the machine, the key functions and operations of the machine, you're finding those items in the same place, you know how to use them, and it becomes very intuitive to work across the family of products. So those are some of the key design items that we worked through as we went about designing and building our next generation excavators.
So of the key new features, what about the cab? I hear the cab has been redesigned?
Yeah, it's really a complete cab redesign for us, and I'll go back again to the customers. So we spent a lot of time with a large group of customers at the beginning of this program to figure out what we really needed to do differently going forward from a cab perspective, thinking about comfort of the machine, thinking about the ergonomics for the operator, thinking about how do we make it the most efficient to operate, how do we make it the safest machine to operate. Thinking about the visibility, of course, as you look around the machine, and the access of getting in and out of the cab itself. So all of those items taking into account to really develop that new next generation excavator cab. And I'll talk specifically about the new 315 compact machine, for example, where we made a significant change in our cab with next generation excavators to go to a larger, more traditional square or rectangle style of cab versus a very compact curved cab that we had in the past. And that really came back to that feedback from operators about their comfort of working a full shift in that cab and what was the most important to them. So some significant changes there on that cab that helps with the ingress and the egress of the cab, as well as that operator's comfort and ability to do the job throughout the day.
And ultimately improving their efficiency. So how does technology improve machine efficiency?
Well, technology helps you to do it fast, it helps you to do it safe, and it helps you to do the job right so that you don't have to come back and redo things that have already been done. So each of those items is very important to a job site, and it ultimately helps that machine be considerably more effective in getting that done. Now, along with that, we are certainly working at Caterpillar to become the one-stop shop, so to speak, for that technology. So not everyone needs 3D grade control on a machine. Some people need 2D grade control. Some people are focused on the assist functionality that helps a new operator operate as if they were a lot more experienced than they actually are. So all of those different technology features really improve that machine's efficiency and allow that same excavator to get a lot more work done during the day than what you would have been able to do with previous machines or with competitive machines.
That's great to hear. So how does the product evolve over time?
Yeah, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, as we've put together the next generation machines, that ability to implement updates as we move forward and bring enhancements to machines that have already been delivered is really, that's evolution. That's something new for us. The other one is our ability to, go and remotely access the machine if we have any type of an issue with the machine or need to address, a service type of item on the machine. We have a lot more capabilities in that diagnostic area than we would have had previously, which again can help with efficiency, with addressing a problem, getting a machine back up and running, or making sure that when we come out to work on a machine that we already know a lot more about that machine than we would have in the past, and therefore keep that uptime as a key priority. So those are some of the items that have evolved really as we've gotten into these next generation machines.
It's all super interesting. And thank you very much, Brent, for taking the time to be with us here today. It's really great to hear about all those details directly from you. And we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for staying late, and have a great evening.
My pleasure, Alana. Thanks for letting me spend some time with the group.
It's been great. Now, we will shortly go to Olivier Wet, Quality Product Manager at our Grenoble manufacturing facility. He will explain how we design and build our machines to the highest quality standards. But first, we'd like to give you the first sneak peek of these new machines. Hope you enjoyed our teaser video. You will soon be able to see these machines live. But now it looks like we've been able to reconnect with Steve Breen. So if he's still online and technology is in our favor this time, we're going to go back to Steve. Steve, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Excellent. So good to see you, Steve. The floor is over to you.
Thank you, Ilana. Well, look, firstly, on behalf of Finning UK and Ireland, it's an absolute pleasure to have been invited to take part in today's event. I think although it would have been great to have been in Malaga, this is certainly the next best thing. I think as both Morris and yourself have already explained, the events of the last 9 months have forced us to adapt to completely new ways of working and interacting with each other. The construction industry in particular was hit hard at the start of the pandemic, but it's steadily finding its feet in what we're now calling the new normal. Construction sites are open, albeit with stringent health and safety protocols, fewer staff and some extended operating hours to cope with the very fact that there are less staff on site. Over the last few months, we've been working extremely close with our customers to help them through these challenging times, trying to offer them the best equipment, the best servicing, the best after sales that they require. Turning to today, I'm really excited to see the new range of products that Caterpillar is going to show us, and we had a sneak preview just there. In particular, I'm really interested in the 314 and the M318, which will no doubt augment the already strong proposition that we have available to all our customers in both the construction and the plant hire industry. I'm sure they'll build upon the impact that the next generation of excavators has had, particularly with regards to the technology and the other features that have enabled our customers to significantly improve precision, productivity, and efficiencies across the board. I'm also really looking forward to seeing the new addition to the GC range, which was developed in direct response to our customers' demands for a more competitive price point, but with a machine that doesn't compromise at all on power and quality. And I think latterly, events like today help us stay in touch with our customers, which is hugely important to us here at Finning UK and Ireland. We're very much open for business. We're here, albeit by a video call, and we're ready to do anything we can to work with our customers and support them in what they need. So please do not hesitate to get in touch with us, contact any of our teams, and we stand by further to talk to you about the new exciting range that you'll see today. So thanks for your time today and the time that you've invested to see these new products, and I'll hand back to you, Ilana.
Thank you, Steve. I'm so glad we were able to reconnect. And now, let's go over to Olivier Wet, the Global Product Manager working out of a Grenoble machinery manufacturing facility.
Thank you for the introduction. Good afternoon. Good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to France, to Grenoble, to this facility where we produce track-type dozers, track-type loaders, wheeled excavators, and material handlers. My name is Olivier Rouet. I am the Quality Manager for Caterpillar France. I'm standing at the end of the assembly line for wheel excavators and material handlers where we perform the final inspection. The pre-delivery inspection carried out on all machines before they are shipped to you. I'm on the shop floor, and it may be a little noisy, so apologies for that. Since 1961, Caterpillar has been manufacturing machines in Grenoble, and in 1963, to expand its capacity, Caterpillar added another building in a town close to Grenoble called Échirolles. The two buildings are working very closely together. Échirolles concentrates on machine assembly, while Grenoble manufactures the corresponding undercarriages and supplies other CAT facilities with spare parts and components. Over the years, we've updated our facilities many times, and we've regularly added new machines to our portfolio. The most recent being the new generation M314 and M318.
M314 et M318, la nouvelle génération, qui sont derrière moi.
Since 2005, we've been producing wheeled excavators and material handlers in this facility. This represents 14 different models, and it is now the most manufactured product family in this facility. Like all Caterpillar facilities, Caterpillar France focuses strongly on quality in all the different ISO 9001 processes. It includes product engineering, procurement, supply chain, manufacturing, marketing, and product support. To meet customer expectations, everybody focuses on lean principles, specifically people working in quality control, and in particular on built-in quality or quality at source. An example of a lean principle we follow is that we have different specific locations in the assembly line to conduct highly standardized inspections on machines to avoid potential defects moving through the assembly line. Another example relates to the dedicated team that takes daily samples on finished and ready-to-ship machines to conduct a complete audit. This audit lasts several hours, and the auditor takes the customer's view. Industry 4.0, with its new technologies, plays a key role in quality improvement and is being deployed to more and more production processes. The first process that comes to mind is 3D printing, thanks to which we can quickly produce tooling or new machine component prototypes.
Ou un prototype aussi d'une nouvelle pièce pour une machine pour essayer, pour résoudre un problème, un éventuel problème.
We also use augmented or virtual reality headsets that help the team quickly validate new products or new processes.
Assez rapidement, assez facilement, tout nouveau process ou tout nouvel dessin de machine grâce à la visualisation qu'elle permet.
Another important aspect to ensure quality is capturing customer expectations, specifically when the machines are working on a job site. This requires close collaboration with our dealers and customers. We have a process at Caterpillar called the field follow process that we implement before the launch of any new product. We entrust these new machines to customers all over the world, capture their valuable input, thus helping us validate the new design and the new product. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. Thank you, and back to the studio.
Great stuff. Thank you, Olivier. If you can visit Grenoble one day, don't hesitate. It really is fascinating. So now, let's go out in the field. Not far from me here at our Demonstration and Learning Center in Malaga are Randall Crow, Small Track Excavator Product Specialist, and Frank Berdugo, Malaga Demonstrator Instructor, who will show us the new small track excavators. Randall and Frank, over to you.
Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Randall Crow. I am the Product Application Specialist for Hex Small and Hex Medium here in Europe. Today we're going to talk about small excavators, but before I get into that, I'll introduce my colleague here, Frank Berdugo. Frank is a professional demonstrator instructor here at Malaga Demonstration Learning Center. Frank's going to help me talk about small excavators today. Frank, thank you.
Thank you.
Frank's going to hop off into the cab of the 315. So let me just give you an overview of what you're about to see. So we have small excavators. Everybody's probably very familiar with that F-Series small excavator. But what we've done is we've taken that 20-ton excavator, that next generation excavator, the things that we launched 3 years ago, we, Caterpillar dealers, and we have been wildly successful with that 20-ton next generation excavator. So we have taken those positive attributes, extended them down the line to the 13-ton and 18-ton size class small excavator. So now we have that ready for you guys. We want to give you a little walk around and talk about those products. So follow me if you will. Let's take a look. So what I'd like for you to understand is we have the small excavator family. Okay, we have the lineup. But inside that family, we have two families. We have the performance family and we have the GC family. And I want to talk about that for a moment. Okay? So with the performance lineup, you have three machines. You have the 313, the 315 CR, and the 317 high performance models. The second family, or the other family, the GC models, the GC family, you have the 313 GC, the 315 CR GC, and the 317 GC. So within that small excavator next generation lineup, two families. And there's a reason for that. We talk about choice and we talk about value with these families to give that to you, our end customers. Okay? So these are some things we'll talk about now as I switch into and talk about those performance models first. The 13, the 315, and the 317. There's a couple of takeaways, about three takeaways when you think about those performance machines. One is exactly that, performance, high performance. Second, lowering your owning and operating costs. Very, very important for you, of course. And last but not least, I like to call it the big enchilada, the full suite of technology that was on that 20-ton excavator down into the small excavator. So we have those three things available. You think about, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? Performance, high performance. Well, with the new electro-hydraulic pump and valves that we have available, that's built into the DNA of that product. So you have 14% more drawbar pull, 10% more swing torque. So on the job, we heard you talk about that F-Series. F-Series, good product, small excavator, but it's reached that product life cycle, the end, and now we have the next generation extenuation of that 20-tonner. So you have that high performance. It's faster, better breakout force with your bucket. If you're half a day loading trucks, you're going to be much more quicker and efficient on the job site, so you can do other tasks. And so speaking of the high performance capability of the small excavators, that performance model, the other aspect I want to bring to your attention is inside the cab, you can select power, echo, and smart on the key fob, on the fob. So what do I mean by that? So you can adjust that dial depending on the task at hand in the application that you're working on. So your engine, RPM, and your hydraulic power will be matched to that task at hand on the job site. So if you're in a very aggressive, hard, rough surface on the job site, you're going to switch that mode up to power mode. So you're going to have the power, and the engine RPM and the hydraulic power will be matched to that task, as I said. If it's a very light application, you got clay, it's very light, so you can dial it back either to smart or echo. Again, this is going to affect the engine RPM as well as going to affect the hydraulic power. So again, that fuel is matched, and the capability of your machine is matched to that application. So you're saving fuel, which leads me into that owning and operating costs. So you're going to be burning less fuel versus that old F-Series, up to 10-15% less fuel. You're also going to have extended fluids and filters on the machine. So we've extended that life of the fluids and filters, so you're not changing them every 500 hours. Those have been extended out substantially. Again, saving you on the owning and operating costs. And last but not least, you heard me mention it earlier, the ease of use features, this full suite of technology built into the product of these next generation small excavators. Cat grade control, 2D, 3D. Payload, so the CPM as we call it, cat payload measurement. So measuring the weight on a job site when you're loading trucks all day. E-fence, so when you're in tight quarters, we have the E-fence capability, E-swing, E-wall, E-fence, E-floor. So we have that capability, that technology built into the DNA of this product. Last but not least is what we call the TRS, the tilt rotator solution built in. So now you have the tilt rotator available ex-factory, so you're not out looking for the third party to assemble, to install. It's not going to cost you additional time and effort and money, of course, to install that third party tilt rotator. You'll be able to take it ex-factory. Should make our friends in Scandinavia much happier, makes us much happier, okay? So those are the performance models. I'll stick to the performance models because right behind me, I have the 315 CR compact radius. You saw Frank Verdugo earlier. Frank's in that cab. You heard me talk a little bit about efficient. You know, that technology built into our products, the ease of use technology, makes your operators on the job site more efficient. Sometimes up to 45% more efficient. That's a significant improvement. But it's just not about getting into the cab, getting on the sticks, as we like to call them, the joysticks, and then start operating, and immediately you're 45% more efficient. It's a little bit more than that. And Frank's here in the cab with me. This is a compact radius, so you know it's really a little bit tighter quarters, but what I want to talk about is Frank's, you saw him probably get up in that cab. Frank's very comfortable, which also gives him confidence, and we talk about comfort and confidence in just a second. So Frank, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, man.
Right next to you. So compact radius 315, I know you've operated it quite a bit. If you think about that F-Series, Frank, and then hopping into the new next generation, probably a little bit more room getting into that cab.
Yeah, I mean, the cab is something really obvious, I would say. We've got better access getting in and out due to the raising armrest, let's say. Another thing I also like about the next gen excavators, we have all the adjusting points for the operator. They're in yellow, so the operator can easily identify what can be adjusted on the seat. Another thing I really like about it, again, this is a next gen cab. Again, we have larger glass pieces, so I have better visibility no matter which way I look. If I look at the sunroof, to the right, I've got better access and better visibility. It's same to the back. I have a larger window, so I've got better visibility all the way around.
Plus, I think most operators on the job site love the moonroof or the sunroof, depending on what time of day it is.
Day shift or night shift.
Day shift or night shift. But it's a much larger space up front, up top for you. So just giving you that complete feel of visibility. So you see the cab, as Frank said, it's a next gen cab. You know, we saw that you know, on that F-Series, good product, but it was quite tight getting in, getting out. I mean, you're up to about 30 centimeters extra space hopping up into that cab, making it more comfortable. You heard me talk about comfort and confidence. Let's talk about confidence. So the ease of use features built into the DNA of this product. So Frank is adept at using the ease of use features. As I said, cat grade control, payload, E-fence, and so forth. So Frank, just let me ask you that question about confidence on the job site. So you're comfortable, you know, you want to be comfortable, but then confidence, using some of these ease of use features. What does that mean for you?
I mean, it's going to improve my production and my efficiency. First of all, I'm going to be more comfortable, but at the same time, I'm going to also be confident I'm doing a finished job the first time. So in the past, I needed a surveyor. If I started to dig a trench, I wasn't sure, I wasn't 100% sure if I was at the correct grade. So I would tend to slow down, for example, or wait for my grade checker to come up to me and tell me if I'm at the correct depth. Now with, for example, assist or the cat grade control with assist, I'm confident I'm doing the finished job for the first time. So I'll get it right the first time. Another example, the CPM. These machines are typically loading road trucks. So road trucks, you don't want to overload them because you could get a fine if they go out on the road, and using the CPM, we're confident we're not overloading or underloading the truck.
Right.
we
So
can
that,
maximize.
yeah, the payload just takes out the guesswork.
Correct, the guesswork. We eliminate the guesswork.
So it makes you more efficient, you're quicker, you're more comfortable, you're more confident.
Correct.
So you're just speeding it up, knowing that you're going to do the job right the first time and not have to go back and say, oh, I overloaded the truck, you know.
Correct.
Now
And
you
being
can-
able to go to the second job quicker, so making more money.
There you go. All right. So talking about the ease of use features, your operators are going to be more confident and more comfortable in the cab. And Frank's going to hop out of the cab, speaking of that. Still talking about the performance models, the 313, the 315 CR, compact radius, and the 317. And just to give you a quick overview, again, of the product. So the commonality that has been taken down from the 20-ton excavators that we launched 3 years ago, that next generation lineup, down to the small excavator, it's basically the same. So this is a extreme advantage with you, our customers, when you ordered that 20-tonner and now you're coming down to the small excavator. It's no different. You can go, you can look, you can see. Frank's going to open up here on the left-hand side. You see it's the same compartment. You got the oil filters on this side. Excuse me, air filter. Quick, easy access. Frank, I know I'm not tall, you're not very tall, but from the ground floor here, we have easy access.
Easily to the filter. I could even clean these lights if I get on my tiptoes. So
you got the battery, cold start. I think we got the two batteries there. So very easy to get into the guts of the machine from the ground level. And it's the same on the 320, it's the same on the 317, it's the same on the 315 GC. Okay? Okay, we walk around, obviously counterweight, 3.7 ton counterweight, 3.8 ton counterweight. When you come on the right-hand side, again, the commonality of our machines of the next gen. You got your fluids, filters here. You can see very easy to access hydraulic fluid, the fluids and filters. We got the hydraulic filter system, very easy to access. Frank, I know as an operator, on a daily tasks, it's quite good that you're not having to climb all over the machine.
yeah, that's correct. So that's the nice thing I like about these small excavators, or we also have on our medium size. For example, there's no need for me to go on the upper platform for my daily checks, which is on a daily basis, obviously. So for example, I've got my engine oil dipstick, same as we have on the 20-ton excavators. At ground level, I've also got my spyglass for the hydraulic oil level. And again, I can do all my daily checks as from ground level. So no need to climb on top. I'm going to be safer.
And again, as I've said earlier, that's a valid point, Frank. We've also extended the life of our fluids and filters. So again, thinking about those owning and operating costs for you on the job site, extremely important for you, extending that life, helping you in the pocketbook. So ease of use features, owning and operating costs. Also, we talked about being comfortable. Frank indicated from the cab, much better visibility. On the right-hand side, we've lowered the tank, the fuel tank here, as well as the DEF. Frank's got the DEF here. So, just the tank itself, a little bit better design. I think, Frank, it opens up to the side.
Correct, it opens sideways. This is also lowered a bit, so it's easier for the operator also to climb up if he had to climb up. So we have better access to the machine itself, to the upper platform, if we had to climb up.
Yeah, the DEF compartment, anything below 55 kilowatt, you need DEF. Anything above 55 kilowatt, excuse me, I got that backwards. DEF is for anything above 55 kilowatt, below 55, you don't need it. Okay? So here you have camera. So you have the right-hand side camera that comes standard as well as in the back. You can order the 360 camera. It's an option depending on if you want or not. Okay? Just as we move forward, the 315. A lot of times here in Europe, we do have the 315 compact radius with a blade. So a blade attachment. You have some options there on the job site using the 315. You have a 2.5 meter blade, 2.6 meter blade, and 2.7 meter blade. Many times also you'll see the boom of a 315 compact radius machine. This is a reach boom, but many times you'll see the VA boom, variable angle boom. What that does is, I like to say, it shrinks your machine when you're in very, very tight quarters. Frank, I think as an operator, giving you that flexibility with that VA boom
Yes, I mean, especially on the compact radius, we tend to end up in tighter areas due to we have a compact radius. So as you just mentioned, the VA boom gives the operator a lot of flexibility to be able to swing in a tighter area. So for example, with the VA boom, I could position the bucket on top of the cab if for some reason I could not swing around. So it gives me a lot more flexibility, especially with the compact radius. So it's a very good feature.
Yeah, and so again, this is the reach boom, which is fine. The reach boom comes with the 3-meter stick as well as a 2.5-meter stick, and the VA boom here on the 315 is a 2.2-meter stick or 2.5-meter stick. Okay, a couple of options. So high performance, we talked about that at length. Let me switch gears into the GC family. We have the 317 GC behind you. I'm going to start walking that way, so come with me. Let's check it out. Let me explain what the GC model is, and different part of the family, same product lineup, small excavators, next generation. So I walk back here to the 317 GC. I'll stand here, let me just give you the overview. So we talked about high performance. Now let's talk GC. What does that mean? You know, there were 3 takeaways there on the high performance. We talked about really high performance, owning and operating costs, and the ease of use technology, the full suite of technology. On the GC model, we're talking about reliable, durable, and fuel competitive. Those are the 3 takeaways on the GC model. What does that mean? So GC model, economical and reliable, economical and durable. So think about it. If you just purchased a performance machine, high performance machine, maybe your economic situation, you're not looking to purchase at that high end again. Depending on your economic situation, as I said, then that GC model could come in and support on the job site. So when I say support, depending on what your job site is, what is the application you're going to be working in? You may not need the high performance at all times. So we've got the GC model. The GC model can fit and come in and perform tasks maybe as a support machine or a utility machine, not necessarily built for thousands and thousands of hours a year, but you're going to be using it 800 hours a year, 500 hours a year. The GC fits perfectly. In terms of the performance, think of an F-series performance at a lower value prop, okay? So you're getting that F-series performance, say the 316 or the 318F, at a lower value prop. So what does that mean? So if you're coming in on the job site and you're going to purchase that GC model, and you've just purchased a performance model, say if the performance model is at 100, your GC model is going to be on average in Europe around a 90. So you can see the difference in the value prop and the positioning of that machine and where you would position it on your job site. Okay? So you heard me talk about owning and operating costs with the performance machines. It's the same topic all the way down the line from the 20-ton machine to our small excavators, our 13 to 18 ton. We've extended the life of the fluids and filters. We've given you easy access to the machine from ground level. So that's what we talk about. And in terms of fuel, very fuel competitive, up to 15% less fuel than the F-Series, from the F-Series product, okay? The thing we hit on earlier with the GC model, we hit on, on the performance model, the GC model, Frank, you said it earlier, was commonality. So if we look at the GC, what particularly comes out when you first see it?
So as you mentioned, what I really like about the GC is its commonality with the normal next-gen excavator. So just for an example, if I look at the boom and stick, I see the plates where the IMU sensors would be on a standard machine. So the boom and stick are coming the same. It could be for a standard machine or for a GC. So we're not going cheap, let's say that way. Another thing that I find is common is the cab itself. So on the previous GC model, so the 313F GC, for example, we had a D-series cab on it. So I'm not saying that the D-series cab was bad, but this one has the standard cab for, doesn't matter if it's a GC or a standard model.
It's a next generation cab.
Correct, so it's common, it's a common along the whole range.
So if you just jumped out of the 320 and came over and jumped in the 317 GC?
It's just exactly the same cab,
exact cab. And in terms of a walk around, Frank?
Again, the same what we mentioned on the standard machines. We have all the ground access levels for the operator. So again, we have the same, the battery compartment, the master key, the engine air filters. On the other side, we have exactly the same as what we had on the other one. So I can still do my ground level checks on a daily basis.
Every morning you're coming out to check the machine?
Correct. Just because it's a GC doesn't mean we're not looking at safety. So we're still trying to keep a safe environment for the operator that we can.
And so the familiarity is there is with you as well. So if you hopped out of the 20 ton or you hopped out of the 17, here you are on the GC, it's going to be the same all the way around.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
I really like that.
So you see what we've done there, the commonality, you still have the two families. You have the high performance, the performance machine, and you have that GC model. F-Series performance and a lower value prop. So if you're thinking of owning an operating cost, you're operating on an hourly basis, this is the machine for you. It's really going to fit your needs on the job site. We talked in the performance machine, and Frank's operated those performance machines quite a bit. If you're trenching all day or you're loading trucks all day and you want to be more efficient and quicker on the job site, that performance machine is really going to fit with you. Well, Frank, we've talked about we've extended all those positive attributes of the 20-tonner that we launched 3 years ago. Here we are now, F-Series small excavator, pretty good product, but it's reached its limit. Now we have the Hex Small product on the next generation line. I think we've hit a home run.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude the walk around and the discussion about Hex Small or small excavator next generation. Looking forward to getting these products into your hands. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Now it's time for a break. Let's take 15 minutes to stretch while Randall and Frank get everything ready for the demo of the 315. See you in 15 minutes. Welcome back. And now let's head out to Randall and Frank for the demo of the next generation small track excavator. Randall, Frank, over to you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard us earlier. We were talking around the machines with the walk around, espousing some of the benefits that you're going to receive from that 20-ton excavator that we launched 3 years ago, the next generation excavator, bringing those positive attributes down for you on our smaller lineup, the 13 to 18-ton lineup. So what we'd like to do is actually show you some of those ease of use features, those positive attributes on a job site, and take you through that, okay? So I'm going to turn that over to Frank here in just a second. What we do is we have the 315 compact radius, you saw it earlier. So the 315, as you can see now, I've got a setup, we've got a VA boom on that 315, which is, you'll see that primarily in Europe for sure. You see the blade, you got a 2.7 meter blade, got the 2.2 meter stick on the VA boom, counterweight, 3.8 ton counterweight. Again, that VA boom, you'll see that a lot of times on the compact radius because we are working usually in tight quarters, maybe urban spaces, lots of traffic in and out. Want to make sure that we're safe and we're conscious of what's around us. Now, you heard us talk about comfort. You heard us talk about confidence when we were explaining the performance machines during the walk around. You remember Frank was with me, and Frank's in that 315 compact radius. Frank's got a lot of work to do today, and he wants to be comfortable. As you can see, he's comfortable in the cab, but he also wants to remain confident as he's using those ease of use features to make him as efficient as possible on the job site today. Got a lot of trenching, got a lot of work, and he's going to use those features to help him do that. So Frank, can you hear me okay?
Yes, hello Randall. I can hear you loud and clear, man.
Excellent, excellent. So Frank, I know you got a lot to do today. You're going to use those features, those ease of use features to make you more efficient, make you more confident. So let's get going.
Okay, so again, as Randall said, I'm going to show you some of the ease of use features that we have in our small excavators that are pretty much carried on from our medium-sized excavators. So the first one I want to show you, so I'm just going to set it up first, okay? Okay, so again, these compact radius with VA booms, we can tend to be in tight areas. So one of the first features I want to show you is about the safety. So I want to show you the E-fences. So the first one I want to show you is the E-fence floor. Okay, so basically what I'm doing, I'm just putting the bucket and telling it here. Okay, you see I've got a measurement, height. This is basically the height from the ground level of the machine. So if I wanted, I could punch in a different number to give it an offset, okay? But we're going to do it just here in the air so you can see it easier and better. Okay, so you can see this green line illuminated below, meaning I've activated my e-fence floor. So I'm going to hold the boom down now, I'm holding it, and I'm coming to a stop. It's a nice smooth stop, and there's an audible warning inside the cab. So it's not allowing me to go below that cut. The good thing is it's going to lock out any movement that could go below that desired height. So you can see even the VA boom, I'm moving the VA boom now, and it's even locking out the VA boom, not allowing me to go below that height.
Frank, that's a fantastic feature in case you've got pipes, water pipes, cables, fiber optic underneath there when you're digging. Not going to let you go further and damage that material. Is that right?
Correct. So I could put a virtual floor, let's say, underneath. If I knew I had pipes 2 meters below the ground, I could put a virtual E floor, not allow me to go below those 2 meters, so I wouldn't hit the pipe.
Okay.
So again, another one I want to show you is if I had utility lines above us, so power lines or something, we have the same for the ceiling. So I'm going to turn this one on, okay, and you're going to see it works the same way. I have a number that I can change the ceiling height. I have the green line illuminated, warning me that the ceiling is on. So you can see as soon as I get to that ceiling height, it's locking me out, not allowing me to go above that height. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave this one on, okay? Because if I have power lines above, I want to keep on working in a safe environment. So the next thing I wanted to show you is the cat grade control, okay? So I've got my e-fence set up on top, above me for my utility line. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bench off this stake that I have here, okay? And so what I'm going to do now, I'm just benching. This is my cat grade control screen, okay? So you can see I told the machine already I want to go down 70 centimeters from where I just benched, and I want a 2% slope towards the machine for the water drainage to come this way. Okay, I already preset a little bit, I pre-dug a bit the trench, sorry, just so it's a little bit faster to show you. Okay, so you can see now, here I've got the light bar indication telling me my height, and the numbers telling me that I have to cut or fill. Okay, just wanted to highlight that this is only indication right now, the way I have it activated. Okay, but it's still a very good tool.
So the grade control there, Frank, you went down, is it 70 centimeters?
70 centimeters from the stake, correct.
Right, so you've got the audible warnings in there, and you also have the light bars on the monitor.
Correct.
Indicating exactly where you are if you're at the depth and you're on slope.
That's correct. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to do a small touch point to come a little bit further back to do another dig. Okay, so I'm going to do it via monitor just so you can see what I'm actually doing. Okay, so I'm going to do a touch point, and I'm going to track back the machine to where I can reach again from. Okay, this is just in case the ground is changing. That way the machine knows the elevation height difference from the machine.
So you're using that cat grade control just to be more confident, making sure you're on grade and you're getting the slope correct, not guessing.
Correct. I'm not guessing in between stakes. So again, we've seen a couple of digs, and I want to continue working with the grade, still with my e-fence ceiling. But I want to also show you I can also have the payload on at the same time. So this is my payload screen. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn on my payload.
Yeah, so you're going to turn on payload, so I guess you want to measure how much material you're moving.
Correct. So for example, if I was digging a trench and the material had to go outside, I had to load a truck, I could still be working with you can see I'm on my payload screen, but I still have the depth indication and my light bar indication for the depth, and I still have my ceiling active. So I can, right now, I'm basically using all three technologies at once.
Yeah, so you don't have to turn off the ease of use features, the technologies, as you said, to perform on the job site.
Correct. I can have them all working together. So you can see now this bucket has got 0.66 tons, and as I dump it, it's going to transfer into the truck body. Okay. You can see I could have a target here if I was loading a truck with its target, but just for the demo purpose itself, we're just keeping eye of how many tons we're actually moving.
So you're staying here on depth, you're staying on slope, you're not going to hit the electrical lines above you because you've got E-sealing, and you know exactly how much material you're moving because you're measuring the weight.
That's correct.
Oh, it's a fantastic system. All those positive attributes, Frank, that you're familiar with on the 20-ton excavator, next generation, down into the smaller lineup. So ladies and gentlemen, we've demonstrated again, you know, that F-Series product that we had, good machine, but here we are, we have the full enchilada. We have the full suite of ease-of-use technology built into the small excavator lineup, the next generation. This is a compact radius, 315, as we talked about, you know, great in urban environments where you're in close contact. There may be traffic, there may be cars, there may be lots of people moving around. This is a fantastic machine for that. You got the VA boom. Frank, once again, making you more efficient, making you more confident. You utilize, take me through it once again. You use E-floor, is that correct?
Correct. I started off with E-floor. I've left on the E-ceiling, so right now I have an electronic boundary above me for my utility lines. I'm working with the Cat grade control, only guidance, and I also have the payload on, so I'm working with these three technologies combined together all at the same time.
So you could just trench all day doing the same thing, is that correct?
That's correct.
Making you more efficient. Okay. Well, Frank, I think that's going to do it. Again, that performance machine, at the end of the day, we're being more productive. Frank's going to be certainly more efficient, and we're trying to lower those owning and operating costs for you on the job site with these products. Frank, thanks very much for that presentation. Really appreciate it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up. Really appreciate your attention, and we'll see you later.
Fantastic job. It's really nice to see those machines working. Now, it's time to take a look at our next generation wheel excavator. We will go back to Frank, who is now standing by the M314. He is joined by Eddie Donald, our Caterpillar wheel excavator product specialist, who will take us through the key features of the new M314. Eddie, Frank, you are now live with our customers.
Hello everyone, my name is Eddie Donald. I'm the product specialist for the wheel excavators, and I have with me today Frank Verdugo. He's a demonstrator instructor in our Malaga, Spain operation. How's the weather in Spain today, Frank?
It's a lovely sunny day here in Malaga, Eddie. Nice to speak to you.
Hey, good. I wish I was there with you. So over the next 15 minutes, we're going to walk around the all new next generation of Caterpillar wheel excavators. The model we're going to show you today is the M314, but the features and designs on this model is all the way through right up to our 24-ton size class machine. The M314's new content is very high, and pretty much everything in the upper frame is new. So we've got a new cab, new front linkage, new cooling system, new hydraulics, new tanks, new enclosures. So the machine is a significant evolution of product that we have in the market today. Design targets for this machine was really to improve the operator comfort and the experience, improve the performance of the machine, and also reduce the operating costs for you, the customer. Starting at the front of the machine, we've got a brand new bucket linkage. Now this gives us a benefit. It's now a common bucket linkage with a 313 and 315 tracked excavators. It's got 65mm pins, so it's in line with pretty much the size classes out there in the market today. That allows you as a customer who maybe have multiple machines in your fleet to swap work tools from one machine to the other. So again, keeping the costs down and reduces the amount of work tools you need in your company. We've also fitted this machine with the optional auto lube. Now this greasing system comes all the way right down to the bucket linkage. Because this is a factory fitted system, you can see here that there's really good hose protection and the routing's good. So it really reduces any failures that you can have on this in its working life of the machine. You'll see on this machine down the stick, we've got the auxiliary hydraulics. On this machine, we've got a medium pressure and a high pressure circuit. but you can also specify it with a second high pressure on here, especially if you've got work tools that require that extra flow and pressure. We've increased the line size on our second high pressure, so that gives you more flow to the stick head. And we've also increased the medium pressure circuit flow as well. So that allows us to control work tools at the head of the machine, like a tilt rotator system. Now at Caterpillar, we've got this integrated tilt rotator system, which basically means that the machine comes equipped from the factory with the right 2 slider joysticks, with a wiring loom in there, and it's also got all the hydraulics. And we don't need a separate head unit in the cab. We use the monitor for the tilt rotator. As you can also see on here, we've got this machines equipped with a VA boom, and we've got a 2.5 meter stick. Now we've actually increased the structural strength of the boom and stick, because we've increased the swing torque of this machine by 14%. And then again, that allows more control of, say, a tilt rotator when you're shaping the different forms and formations that you would associate with that type of work tool. Moving over to the operator's cab. We've got a completely new cab on this machine, and this is following the same design as our next generation of tracked excavators. It's rollover protection and fallen object protection certified, and it's also got the cab is mounted to the frame by viscous mounts, and that reduces noise and vibration going into the cabin. We've got more space, we've got more glass area, and we've got a parallel wiper blade at top and bottom. So again, giving more improved visibility. The machine comes standard with 1800 lumen LED lights all around the machine. So that gives us that ability to light the job site all year round. Now, as you can see Frank climbing into the cab, he's using 3 points of contact to access that cabin. It's also really easy to get into the cab because you've got that tilting console, and also we've increased the amount of angle that the steering adjusts to. So we've got a much better adjustability, allowing us to get more access space for the operator to get in and out of the cab. All the next generation of wheeled excavators are fitted with a 10-inch touchscreen monitor. It has operator ID for security, so nobody can just jump in the cab and drive the machine away. It's got a push start button. So again, if you once you've put your operator ID in, it's just a matter of pushing the start button to get things going. Or you can have the optional Bluetooth key, which you keep in your pocket, and that disables the need for having to keep adding in the operator ID every time. There's also a new keypad module with a jog dial for monitor navigation. Now the benefit of this is you don't need to stretch forward to the monitor, and also you can adjust the things on the monitor even if you've got gloves on. We've got electronic joysticks on this machine now. So the benefit of that is we don't have the hoses, that hydraulic hoses coming into the cab. So we've got less noise, we've got less heat, and we've got less vibration coming into the cab. And you can adjust the sensitivity of these joysticks to suit the operator's preference. And we also have the ability to change the pattern changer on this. So before you'd have to go out with your spanners and swap hoses around, now we can do this electronically from the monitor. It's got a much wider seat in the cab. It's also got an orange coloured seat belt, and it's also got the seat belt warning indicator. This suits a wide variety of operators that is in this business today. So the cab has also got the option of front and roof guarding, and we've also got 2 different types of windshield. You can have a 70-30 windshield, or you can have a one-piece laminated windshield. This is a 10mm thick piece of glass that's demolition compliant. Now we've also renewed the air filter for the cabin, So not only is it much easier to get to, as Frank's demonstrating, but also it lasts 5 times longer than the previous model. Behind the cab, we've got the more daily maintenance checks, and these can be done at ground level. However, you do have to actually get up onto the safe platform here if you're going to be doing some refueling and or adding DEF into these tanks. The DEF tank, it's got a level gauge, so that stops you from spilling any extra DEF in there. So as Frank's climbing down from here, we talked about the machine having the optional auto lube. If you don't have the auto lube, you can have the grease points will be mounted in this area. But as you can see, Frank's pointing to the auto lube tank, easy to fill up, and it gives you. And he's also got the ability to check the hydraulic oil level at ground level here. So just as he's pointing to there. Now, if you don't want to be climbing up to refuel your fuel tank, you also have the option to have an electronic refueling pump. So this is just one push of the button, and it automatically fills the tank up, and once it gets to its full level, it automatically shuts off. So again, this negates the need for climbing up and down the machine to do the refueling. The next compartment is just a simple enclosure there, and that gives you access to the batteries. This is really all been cleaned up. Other than the electronics, the only really need there would be there is to check the batteries are clean and or replace them. The undercarriage is what we've done with the undercarriage. We've got 2 large toolboxes, one on the right, one on the left, as you can see here. And then we've really lifted up we've got a high ground clearance due to the axle mounted transmission rear axle. So you can see there's nothing there that's going to get in the way of any obstructions. The undercarriage itself can come with, as it's mounted here, with 1 blade, or you can have a blade and the stabilizers, or you can have 4 stabilizers. And also the blade itself, you would see that you may have 8, 10, 12 grease points. On this machine, there's only 1 grease point. So again, making it nice and easy and simple to do. And if it's easy to do, it gets done. Also at the rear of the machine, you can see we've got our integrated rear view camera. We've also got a light so that we can see what's happening at night. And then the all important, all brand new trade dress. Very distinctive, unmissable. So as we go around the side of the machine and we'll go into the powertrain compartment, this is where we've got our hydraulics house. So the hydraulic compartment, we've got our main pump, we've got our dedicated swing pump, and this gives us optimum performance and efficiency. The main and swing pump are now fully electronic control. So we've got better control over the pump, making them more efficient. We've retained the dedicated swing pump. This is a closed loop circuit. This actually gives us regeneration on our swing braking, helping us save energy and save fuel effectively by reducing the load on the engine. We've got automatic hydraulic warm-up now in the feature, so there's no need for any action from the operator to get that hydraulic up to temperature, especially in those cold winter mornings. The new hydraulic oil filter is extended life for reduced maintenance costs, and now you can extend the hydraulic oil change interval to 6,000 hours. And that, again, you need to do that shredded oil sample to make sure that there's no contamination in that oil. The engine itself is a longitudinal engine installation. Each of the points on here are all done at ground level. So you can see the fuel filters. We've got the dipstick. We've got the engine oil top up. And we've also got the ability to change the fuel filters. We've got an electric refueling pump, and there's also a shut-off cock on the fuel filters to stop any fuel being spilled onto the ground contaminated. This machine's fitted with a Caterpillar emission module. That includes a DPF. It's a maintenance-free passive regen. That means there's no intervention from the operator. The operator, no need to stop and park the machine up at any point in time for after treatment. It's a completely seamless. The operator doesn't know what it's happening. So we're going to close this engine hood and we're going to look at the inside the cooling package. Now the cooling system is now capable of up to 52 degrees Celsius ambient, right? We've got a simple variable speed engine driven cooling fan, and it's ground level access for cleaning out the coolers, but it also given us ground level access to the air filter. So as Frank's demonstrating, this is a very simple operation to remove the filter, maybe give it a clean out, change it, and then put it back in again. So no climbing over the top of the machine to get into this. We've also, as you can see, we've reprofiled the hood and canopy around this, the radiators and air filter. And we've reprofiled in ways so that we've got excellent right-hand side visibility for the operator. And you couple this with the optional 360-degree camera system, and then that gives us absolutely one of the safest machines to have on site. It's really brought this safety to another level. So we've covered quite a lot of the features in here in the past 15 minutes. I'd love to talk to you for an hour on this. There's a lot more to share with you, but hopefully you got a taste of our next generation excavator. If there's any questions you have, please feel free to shout them out, and hopefully I can answer them for you.
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Frank. We partner with dealers and customers all around the world to get their feedback on machine performance, and we take that feedback very seriously. This is a key part of our quality validation process, as we use their feedback to improve the new machines before their public release. We're going to hear now from 2 European customers who helped us validate the new products on their job site. Remember, send us your questions in the message box below your video link. After this video, we'll be back to answer your questions.
Bonjour, Eric Michel, entreprise Chardot, manipulateur sur pelle à pneus depuis 18 ans. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous parler de la machine M314 Caterpillar. Ça va faire 1 an que je suis dessus. On va refaire un point sur les géosticks qui ont vraiment évolué par rapport à la machine, qui sont personnalisables par rapport à la tablette de la machine et une ergonomie qui est vraiment plaisante à conduire. Nous avons une tablette qui fait partie intégrante de la machine, qui nous permet de régler tout ce qui est manipulation hydraulique, puissance et visibilité par rapport aux caméras, parce que tout est intégré dans la tablette et nous n'avons qu'une pièce maîtresse dans la machine plutôt que 3 écrans. Le tilt rotateur, c'est une évolution sur une machine qui est parfaite parce qu'on s'en sert tous les jours, à tout moment. On peut creuser sous des réseaux, creuser sous des murs, se positionner un peu comme au lieu d'un déport, on se positionne un peu à côté de la fouille, on arrive à travailler au fond de la fouille pour nettoyer une fouille.
Mein Name ist Erik Witt, ich arbeite für die Firma Wackershauser in Kirchheim bei Stuttgart. Momentan sind wir in Wendlingen und verlegen hier Versorgungsleitungen für Wasser und Gas. Seit Februar 2020 hat uns die Firma Caterpillar den M318 zum Testen zur Verfügung gestellt und seither arbeiten wir mit diesem Gerät. Ja, meine Herausforderung ist auf jeden Fall die Sicherheit meiner Kollegen auf der Baustelle und den Anwohnern. Da haben wir natürlich mit dem M318 Caterpillar mit der 360-Grad-Kamera gute Voraussetzungen, diese auch zu erfüllen. ganz große Vorteil der neuen Generation ist die elektrohydraulische Vorsteuerung, die mir ermöglicht, exakte Planien herzustellen. Die Kabine, die übernommen worden ist von einem Kettenbagger, ist geräumiger, größer, vor allem ruhiger. Man hat mehr Platz. Tägliche Wartung bei dem M318 ist problemlos. Für mich ist das der beste Bagger, den ich bisher gefahren habe. Es macht morgens Spaß einzusteigen und man kann abends aussteigen, ohne kaputt zu sein hier. Ein geiler Bagger.
It was great to hear from the French and German customers about their experience of using these new machines on their job sites. We also have other customers from across Europe, including the UK and Ireland, who have been experiencing the full power and performance of our machine range. We hope to be able to share some of their customer stories in the coming months. We are approaching the end of the launch event. Before we conclude, we'd like to address the many questions you've sent us through the message box. So now, it's time for the Q&A session. Joining us live from Finning UK and Ireland are Steve Breen, General Manager, Tim Ballard, Head of Product, George Ionescu, Product Manager. And joining us from Caterpillar are Eddie Donald, Product Specialist for wheel excavators, Randall Crow, Product Specialist for small track excavators. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today.
Hi there.
Hi, Lana.
Alana.
Okay, so let's get started with our questions. We have a question coming in now from a customer in the north of the UK. During the small track excavator walk-around, you mentioned the onboard technologies. Do the next-gen 313, 315, and 317 have the same onboard technologies as the larger 20-ton models?
I'm going to take this one, Alana. So if we are to discuss about the 313, 315, and 317, all the ease of use features that we normally see now on 320 or a 323 are going to be exactly the same type of ease of use features that we are going to see on the next gen small excavators. We are talking about 2D grade guidance. We are talking about assist features, so assisted operation for boom, for bucket, for swing operation, and for lift assist. We are talking about payload, so in our world called the CPM, and we are talking about e-fence as well.
It's great to hear about all of that. So let's go to our next question. So a customer from Ireland is asking, what type of undercarriages are going to be available on the new models?
Alan, I would assume that we are talking about the small tracked excavators, and let me pick this one up as well. If we are talking about 313, 313 GC, 315, and 315 GC, all of the machines will come with a long type of undercarriage. We are talking about the same type of tracks ranging between 500 millimeters all the way to 770 millimeters that we used to have on the F series, with the additional blade option as before.
Okay, good to hear. So for the next question, coming in from a customer in Spain, local customer, they would like to know if all the new small track excavators will need DEF.
Randall?
Since I'm in Spain, why don't I try to take that question? I don't want George to have all the glory, of course, so I'll help George out. So all the models with DEF. So if you really don't understand what DEF means, it's diesel exhaust fluid, just to be clear. And for the small excavator lineup, the 313 GC is the one machine that will not require DEF. Why is that? Because the 313 GC has a rated engine output of 55 kilowatt. So anything above 55 kilowatt, you're going to require DEF or diesel exhaust fluid with operation of the machine. So our 313 all the way up to our 317 will require DEF. The 313 GC will not.
Great, thank you, Randall, for clarifying on that point. So for our next question, how are the next-gen models able to achieve such a big reduction in maintenance costs of up to 25%?
Steve, is it okay to leave this one with you? It's a little bit more in
Yeah,
depth.
sure. Delighted. I think reduction in the cost is made possible by the summing up of the features that are essentially turning these things into a next-gen excavator. So one, the use of electro-hydraulics. Two, the extension of the service intervals for the filters, and thirdly, the reduction of oil quantities that are required. So all those sum up to provide the savings that we've talked about today.
Brilliant.
Great to hear. Okay, so let's go to the next question. So we have a customer from Scotland wanting to have some more information about the ease of use features. They're asking, will any of the ease of use features you showed us during the demo of the small track excavators, be different for the operators versus the 20-ton models?
Who's going to pick this one up? Tim, are you?
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, George. Yeah, I mean, it's good news. If the operator is already working on a next-gen 320, it's going to be really easy for them to operate a next-gen 315 or 313. As the monitor and the ease of use features, they're all the same. So that's really good news for the operators. Very easy to transport from one to the other. If they haven't used the 320, again, it's good news. The features, the comfort, the machine controls, the visibility and safety are all first class, and it's all very intuitive.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And I'm sure the operators are happy, very happy to hear that. So we'll go to our next question. Another customer would like to know if all the new small track excavators will share the same cab.
Well, let me pick up this one. If we are going to discuss about the 313 and the 313 GC, those two models in particular will be actually sharing the same type of cab as their bigger brothers, the 320, the 320 GC, and the 323. But if we are to discuss about the 315 and the 315 GC, we are referring to a bespoke, a new type of design for the cab. A new cab that is bringing 13% more space inside the cab versus the F-Series, and up to 60% more visibility in cab versus the older cab from the 315 F-Series.
Sounds like a lot of great news for all of our operators. So next question. Are GC models going to have a short undercarriage?
I will continue to answer this one. All the new models, 313, 313 GC, 315, 315 GC, referring first of all the main models that we are selling here in UK, all of the new models will be sharing the exact type of long undercarriage. So none of them will be having the short one.
Okay, thank you, George. Let's go to the next question. And we have a customer from the south of the UK. They would like to know, when will we be launching the new 20-ton wheel excavator model?
Eddie, should I take this one? Is it okay? I think we are having some difficulties with you. Yeah. Well, anyway, let me pick up this question until we bring Eddie back. If we are going to discuss about the 20-ton wheeled excavator, the next-gen model, this is planned for the second quarter of next year as being part of the transition from stage 4 engines to stage 5, and also on the transition of the F-Series wheeled excavators to the next-gen platform.
Okay. Thank you, George.
Back with you now. Sorry about that, George.
Excellent, Eddie. Good to hear you again.
Right.
Okay, so we've got another question. So we still have time for you, Eddie. Regarding the wheel excavators. This one's coming in from a customer in Italy. And they would like to know, do the new models have the same type of bucket linkage as the F-Series wheel excavator range?
Eddie, let me pick this one equally, and then I'll leave the following for you. Promise.
Okay.
If we're discussing about the next gen wheeled excavators, the next gen models will be having a different type of bucket linkage compared to the F series. Now the new models will be actually sharing the same type of linkage as the tracked excavators. So if we are discussing about models below 20 tons, M314, M316, for example, they will have the exact type of bucket linkage as the 313 and the 315. If we are discussing about models above 20 tons, so M320, because we had just another question on the M330, well, the new next gen M330 will be having the same type of linkage as the 320, the 320 GC, and the 323.
Wow, that's really great to hear. So it looks like we have time for just one more question. So let's go to the last question. And this one as well is on wheel excavators. A customer in Northern Ireland would like to know if the new range of wheel excavators will have a trailer towing package available.
I'm leaving, Eddie, as promised, I'm leaving this one with you.
Right, cheers, George. Yeah, I didn't cover this during the walk around. So yeah, we're going to be, we'll have a trailer towing package. That's going to be introduced when we introduce our compact radius wheeled excavators. It's going to be able to tow a trailer up to 8 tons. It's going to have the trailer tip-in hydraulics, tailgate hydraulics, also have all the electrics needed for lighting, etc. And once we've introduced it with the compact radius machines, well then it'll be available for the M314, M318. So that's all coming in next year.
So some more good news. Thank you, Eddie. So all excellent questions and all very positive answers for our customers. Steve, Tim, George, Randall, and Eddie, thank you for taking the time to be with us today. It's been very much appreciated.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Well. Cheers, Alana.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye, Anna.
So unfortunately, we weren't able to get to all of your questions during the session. However, we will work with our specialists to answer them and get the information back to you. So a huge thank you to all of you, our valued customers and business partners, for joining us today. For us, it has been an excellent session spent in Malaga and virtually with all of you. We know you all have busy schedules at home, in the office, or on site. So again, thank you. I would like to give the final words of today to Steve Breen, General Manager from Finning. From the rest of us, we hope to see you next time, hosting you face-to-face in Malaga or joining you on your job sites. Until then, stay safe and healthy, and see you soon.
Thank you, Lana. And look, hey, what a fantastic event this has been. And great to finally see the new next-gen M314 and 318 in person, as it were. I think these machines are definitely a great addition to the existing wheeled hex range, and they're incredibly versatile, and they'll give our customers a machine that offers better performance, productivity, and efficiency, as well as a lower operating maintenance cost. As a dealership, we're really looking forward to bringing all these machines to you to demonstrate them to you. And just as today's event's been different from the norm, we've put in place measures that will help us bring demonstrations to you, utilising virtual presentations, and our product managers and sales teams will be able to visit you in a COVID-compliant way and demonstrate these machines and also do effective handovers with you. So finally, I'd like to thank all our customers for attending today. I'd like to thank all the Finning team who have contributed, and I'd really like to thank Caterpillar for putting on such a superb event. Really fantastic, and you know, as we live in these strange times, it shows that an alternative way of doing things can be just as good. So keep safe, everybody, and thank you very much.